Welcome to Cold Corner, I'm Atron.
And I'm Inferna.
And tonight we have a review of the classic snuff film by Fred Vogel, August Underground.
Made in 2001. Hard to believe it's that old, huh?
Yeah. A modern classic, so to speak.
Yes.
Yeah, and this is, this starts out as, you see two guys, they're going to this house, and there's one guy filming behind, and they're going down to this basement, and he was like, okay, it looks kind of normal, but then you go, and you see that there's some woman, she's tied up to a chair, and she's all beat up.
With duct tape on her face, all beat up and bloody. One of her nipples is cut off.
Yeah, her nipple sliced off.
And the place is a mess. There's like stuff everywhere. There's actual feces, poop everywhere.
Excrement everywhere. Like she shit her pants, and you can see it all over the back of the chair.
And somebody else did too, because like they had like it everywhere.
It's basically a biohazard down there.
Yes.
And, yeah, they're just torturing her, They're having a good time. This guy behind him, he's filming it,
And giggling maniacally, too.
And they're grabbing, like, excrement and, like, sticking
rubbing
it in the
her
wounds.
wound.
Yeah, and her
putting
nipple.
it in her mouth.
Yeah.
Rubbing it
everywhere.
Everywhere.
And then, meanwhile, Fred Vogel character, he's in the bathroom, and he's cutting up her boyfriend.
In the bathtub, slowly, and even the smell of that. He says in it he doesn't like the smell, and he like starts throwing up and stuff.
And he does. He harps in the toilet of blood, and then the toilet bowl's full of blood, and
which makes you wonder if he caught something from his nasty basement.
Well, he's eating an apple, and you can see like the shit on his fingers and the piss and all that.
Yeah, because they were like we said, they were wiping excrement on her, and they were peeing on her, and
that's pretty nasty, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just shows him like kind of slowly cutting him up. The corpse is starting to rot a bit. You can see the decay all over.
Yeah.
They cut off his willy.
Yeah, that was already missing, and that was put in the toilet.
Yeah. And they're kind of just teasing her and just saying, look what's happening to your boyfriend, blah blah blah,
Yeah, he brings her like his arm or something, all want to bite, or whatever.
Yeah, and then meanwhile, while they're doing that, they're going out on the town and causing havoc here and there. They have their own kind of like.
It's sort of like a just made on video. The guy's just following them around, just videotaping their average whatever they do.
Their carnage trip, basically. They're documenting their self-destruction and destruction they cause. Is basically.
Yeah, they're driving around. They come and find this other girl that was hitchhiking. And they pick her up, and they start by, I'll give you $20 to show us your boobs.
Yeah, and I'm giving you $20. Why don't you show us your pussy too?
Yeah, which I think is actually pretty good for $20 to be showing everything. I'd be wanting a little bit more than that. I think.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah.
And anyway, they pull over the side of the road at one point, and
he wants her to go out and give him head.
Yeah. Which she goes and does, and then he starts beating the living crap out of her.
He punches the shit out of her, basically.
Yeah, and then he pisses on her and stuff.
Yeah.
And, at the time when they leave her heart's still beating, but you don't know if she actually died from the injuries
they killed
later.
her, or they, they just left her to die, or whatever, so. And then, it keeps going on, and then it shows them going to this slaughterhouse, and, a lot of other kind of things, this little world, this little kind of town where it's like,
a nightclub and stuff.
And he gets a fight with some guy there, and they're just kind of on a downward spiral, And obviously, if you know this series, then you know kind of what happens, in the next two films. But it just shows where they're going, and just their kind of the chaos they're creating. I mean, they're in a store and they're fucking with this guy until they decide to just stab him.
Yeah,
and
the store guy who's working there.
Yeah, and they do. They get this guy and his girlfriend, and he wants the guy to sniff his girlfriend's ass. Yeah, so
tells her to sniff his butt and stuff, which. Yeah.
And he's almost gagging and puking and shit, and
which is kind of weird because you'd think
maybe she's very gassy down there.
That could be. Yeah. Otherwise, it'd be like, okay, whatever. Like
she's her own anal biohazard,
Wow, maybe she.
I don't know. She had something, and obviously, so yeah, he's really the stench of her necro fucking ass of death is like. Is apparent. But yeah, yeah, it just kind of follows where they further go around down the spiral of destruction, you know, and at the conclusion you see them, you know, they're, you know, getting high with some hookers and
some crack whores basically,
yeah,
and they're like, hey, you keep the blow flowing, then we'll keep blowing you.
Yeah.
Basically.
And yeah, and then one of the hookers, she goes with Fred Vogel, and
the other one goes with the video guy.
Yeah, and then you know you see, you know, that, oh, where'd they go, because they're done doing their sex act, and then they go down to the basement of death, you know, and he's there with his pants down, fucking whacking her in the head with a hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how he gets off.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, and that's you know,
pretty much the end.
Yeah, and she's running out the door screaming, and they're chasing right behind her,
Yeah.
and then the movie ends, and so yeah, it's a really crazy film, but it's a really good film. I love this film a lot.
The effects are amazingly good.
Yeah.
Actually, they're very realistic.
Yeah, this isn't a fluff serial killer film. This would be more realistic, you know.
Yeah, this is seriously, if you like just come across somebody's videotape that they were filming their own little home private movies of their psychosis.
Yeah.
That involved lots of killing and just degrading people and
yeah, all sorts of shit. So, yeah, the effects are great on here. Acting, well, it's what it is. It's okay.
The filming is really
it's just like it's like a
raw,
bad shot on video.
it's
you know,
purposely done that way.
Yeah, just to get the more
really,
realistic effect.
To look really gritty and just really raw and just really like somebody had a cheap video camera and was videotaping what they did.
And it really works for that way. You know, it makes it more realistic in that sense. And so yeah, really cool film. This is the double DVD version. This has the first disc. You know, has. Well, the movie, and then it has like 2 commentaries here, and the second disc is loaded with lots of cool features. So you really get to learn about the movie and what their thought process was behind you know, when he was doing the movie, and yeah, he really.
I mean, it was in a sense a big, you know, fuck you to the corporate.
Yeah, and also, he wanted to first off do a zombie type film, but he could never get the budget to do it, and. So he decided to do this kind of serial killer film, and and it's pretty infamous now. So yeah, I think he did a really good job for what he had, and and just the brutality of it, the meanness of it, and you know, there's no sense
just a total disregard
for
of
life,
any other,
for life or anything.
For life or any other
these guys don't give a shit about nothing. They just want to go out and get the rocks off, basically, in any way, you know. And people are nothing to them. They're just something to abuse, destroy.
I mean,
you know,
it's like
and
a bag of Skittles.
Yeah.
I mean, it's even less than it's less than like an animal. So you know, a bag of Skittles. It's like they're nothing.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. So this is definitely not for everyone. This is a lot of people either love it or hate it. You know, I mean, this is the type of movie that divides people. So I'm the one who actually loves this. I'm in the crowd who loves these kind of films. I like the sequels a lot. We'll probably do some reviews of them later. Yeah, definitely if you're into this realistic extreme horror type genre, then August Underground is one of the sicker films you'll ever want to see.
I mean, it's basically pure violence and just degradation.
Yeah, it's just the human monster coming out, you know, like anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah. How many stars are you going to rate this?
I am going to give this an 8.
I'll give it an 8.5. So yeah, really enjoy this film. Like I said, it's not for everybody. People who have never seen kind of these snuff films should maybe, maybe get some info before they just jump into it, because it might not be their thing. They might be sickened for it, because it is a pretty sick film. And this was also kind of influenced by another older snuff film called Last House on Dead End Street, which is a real cool film as well. So, yeah, kudos to Fred Vogel. Really like this. You should check out some other of his work if you enjoy the August Underground. There's 2 sequels. He also has done the Red Sin Tower, Murder Collection Volume 1, Maskhead, and Cella Turcica.
Yeah, Cella Turcica, which we did do a review on previously.
So definitely, yeah, give this a shot if you want to see some sick shit.
Yep.
All right. Until next time, we'll hail the horror.
Hail horror.
You're picking this shit up. Ah, fuck. So, come on, I got something. I'm going to love this. Where you going? Where you going? You alright? You alright? You alright? You alright? You alright?